Yan bale send kwa this video buka enolu ani magide nda Alodo State. Anguzo chem. Osu enworo la Alodo State. Mobile say pụta anyị ga-apụta. Nwa ihe ndị anyị kwesịrị ịrụ.
All right.
Osu enworo la Alodo State. Mobile say pụta anyị ga-apụta. Nwa ihe ndị anyị kwesịrị ịrụ. Ụjọ adịghị anyị. Anyị zụrụ ka eme. Ndị ahụ ndị isi zone by zone pụtara anụ ka ha mee this video. Send arụ gị inwe ike hụta this video. Mara na Alodo State nwe ndị nọ nọ that place. Ka ịkwagide anyị ka anyị nwere ike pụta fully mee ihe ndị anyị kwesịrị ime. Asị na nkwọcha awụghị ọjọọ. Otu aka ilu ndị Igbo tụrụ. Asị onye kere nkwọcha na nkwọcha awụghị ọjọọ. Ka anyị kwere nkwọcha chere. Maka ọ fụrụ obere oge. Ha sị nọ naghị eme. Ọ ga na-eme ha na-ahụ ya n'anya ha. Anyị arụ ọrụ dị ukwuu. Nke ọwụ asị ka anyị sendewa ya mebi gị nwa ga-aghọta na anyị agbaligo. Arịa anyị na-arịakwa n'ọbụ ka ịkwagide anyị ka anyị nwee ike gaa n'iru n'ịlụ ọlụ a ka ọlụ a nwee ike gaa n'ifu. Ndewo nna ya ukwu. Ọ ga-adịrị gị mma na Eke. Ọ ga-adịrị gị mma na Orie. Ọ ga-adịrị gị mma na Afọ. Ọ ga-adịrị gị mma na Akwọ.
All right, my people.
Conference that the liberation of Biafra has taken a new turn from today. A lot has happened today, and this particular pressure and heat will continue to hit Nigeria. Nigeria has expired, and it is the responsibility of every one of us to make our future and freedom a reality. I have come to share with you today the history of Lithuania. For many of you do not know, go to the comment section, please, Minister Sonny, and see how to highlight what I posted on the comment section, which is the act of the re-establishment of the state of Lithuania. The same thing is happening to Biafra. We are declaring the restoration of independence of Biafra on 2nd of December in Finland. And I want to inform all of you that what works for Lithuania may not work for us. Nigeria, as a terrorist state, has made it very impossible for us to stay in our land and declare our independence. So we are going to bring the independence from outside the offshore of Africa. It is what we know that is definitely going to work for us. I want every one of you to look at what is highlighted on this space. You will see the act of the re-establishment of the state of Lithuania. And you look at that document, you are going to see signatures of people that signed the Declaration of Independence of Lithuania. The same thing you are going to do in Finland. For those of you who will be coming to Finland as a delegate, you will have the opportunity to append your signature on the Biafra document, the declaration of the Biafra, of the restoration of independence of Biafra on the 2nd of December 2024. The media war and propaganda is ongoing. Don't panic, don't shiver, don't move an inch. Remain where you are. More of the propaganda will come. More of the media attack will come. Do not shake. We have prepared you for this day. For the past 2 years, we were busy molding you, preparing you for what is to come. Why the people that are bringing the propaganda today were laughing at you and taking us for a joke. Now they have found out it's no longer a joke, and they have come for propaganda. They came late. If it was in the beginning, when people do not know their left and right, I would have been panicking that, oh, they're going to deceive you. But you are already prepared for what is to come. And we will inform you ahead of time before their propaganda started. Now, the act of the re-establishment of the state of Lithuania, or act of 11 March, was an independent declaration by Lithuania adopted on 11 March 1990. signed by all members of the Supreme Council of the Republic of Lithuania, into the Biafra cabinet and delegate that will be in Finland. Signed by all members of the Supreme Council of the Republic of Lithuania, led by Sir Judis. The act emphasized restoration. I want you to listen to me very importantly. The act emphasized restoration. It is the same thing that Biafra is doing this year. A lot of people don't know what we're doing, but the outside world, the international community, the European Union, the Western world understand what we're doing very well, because we are not the first to have done it. Now, this act, which you are seeing on highlighted comment, emphasized on restoration and legal continuity of the interwar period of Lithuania, which was occupied by the Soviet Union and annexed in June 1940. In March 1990, I want you to know how many years it took them to declare the restoration of Lithuania. From 1940 to 1990. Do the plus and minus and post in the comment section how many years it took them. Now, from 1967 to 2024, do the minus and post the comment how many years it is taking Biafra to restore their independence. It was the first of all these 15 Soviet republics to declare independence. Lithuania was the first country of all the 15 Soviet republics that took that bold step that nobody ever did. They took the bull by its horn. It is them that started the declaration and the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Somebody has to start it. And God is using me, Simon Ekpa, to start the dissolution of Nigeria. And it is happening this year. Mark my word, there is nothing in this life, no force in this life will stop Nigeria from dissolution. And it starts from this December. Soviet Union was a very strong union. Everybody knows that. But in March 1990, the Lithuania became the first of all the 15 republics to declare independence, with the rest following to continue for 21 months, concluding with Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan independence was in 1991. This event, part of the broader process, doubled the parade of sovereignties, led to the dissolution of the Soviet Union in December 1991. I want you to understand, do not listen to all the lily-livered idiots who are very comfortable slaves. You are not a comfortable slave. Biafrans are known for being a Republican. They are very, very wise. Yeah, they are never comfortable. Even our own ancestors, when they were being taken away as slaves, they decided to jump inside the sea instead of becoming a slave. That's who we are. Now, let us go to the background. Loss of independence. Lithuania was once an independent country. Many years after the partition of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in the 18th century, Lithuania was part of the Russian Empire. In the aftermath of the Russian Revolution of 1917, the Council of Lithuania, chaired by Jonas Bazenfichus, proclaimed the Act of the Independence of Lithuania on February 16, 1918. Are you listening to me? In 1918, a man called Jonas proclaimed the Act of Independence of Lithuania. Somebody have to do it. Whether other people agree or not, somebody have to wake up and do it. And for the Lithuanians, a man called Jonas took up that challenge and did it on February 16, 1918. This is history. Some of these people who have deceived Biafra for ages don't even know what is freedom fighting. Now, Lithuania enjoyed independence for decades. In August 1939. So, from 1918 to August 1939, the Soviet Union and the Nazi Germany signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, which many of you have actually heard Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talking about the Molotov, dividing Eastern Europe into spheres of influence. The Baltic states, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia were assigned to the Soviet sphere of influence and subsequently were occupied in June 1940. So from 1918 to 1940, they enjoyed independence. After 1940, the Soviet Union took over. After they have shared them like commodity. Germany and the Soviet Union shared Lithuania, shared Latvia, shared Estonia, like they are sharing you today in Nigeria. Tomorrow you wake up, they say you belong to Kogi. Where Igbo man is speaking Igbo in Kogi state, they shared you. Where Igbo man is speaking Igbo in Benue state, they shared you. And Nigeria is sharing us, and nobody is talking. And they thought they have actually conquered everybody. The same thing they did to these people. They shared them among themselves. Now, like I said, they were assigned to Soviet occupation in 1940 and converted into Soviet Socialist Republic. Are you paying attention? In Lithuania's case, President Antanas Smetona left the country rather than accept the occupation. Instead of this man to accept the occupation, he left the country and, believe me, probably from government in exile. He did not sign but turned over his presidential duties to Prime Minister Antanas Mericus. As per the Constitution, the next day, Mericus declared himself president in his own right. The cabinet confirmed Mericus in office, claiming that Smetona had effectively resigned by leaving the country. 2 days later, under Soviet Union pressure, Mericus appointed Justas, because they are now the puppet of the Soviet Union, a left-wing journalist and longtime opponent of the Smetona regime, as prime minister. Mericus then resigned at Moscow insistence, making Palex acting president as well. So you see, they have put pressure, the Soviet Union from Russia have put pressure up to the point of appointing their own person, who is their puppet, as a prime minister. That one become president overnight to protect the interests of the enablers and the vendors. The Soviet Union then used the Palex government to give the final Soviet takeover the appearance of legality. They have to use somebody inside. Always like that. Just like they destroyed IPOB Nigeria today. What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu suffered for many years. If not that God used many of us to rescue the Biafra struggle. The Biafra struggle would have been gone since 2021. Ejiofor wanted to be like Onyema of APIS that used the militant in Niger Delta to become a aeroplane operator. Many of you don't know how Onyema made his money. He was negotiating the amnesty of the militant, this Asari pig, Tompolo, all of them. Onyema was the one who negotiated on behalf of them. And Nigeria pumped money into his account. And he used that money to become aeroplane island operator. Today, it is where he makes the money. Many of you don't know that. He was the only one, as a lawyer then, going to the creek to make deal with this Asari idiot. He used the money to become a billionaire today. While the people who were fighting, carrying gun, as they are known for them, were just ordinary pipeline guiding. They were guiding ordinary pipeline. Today, Tompolo take the same measure and the same step. The Soviet authority undertook Sovietization policy, nationalization of all private property. You see, immediately they put their own person, they begin to nationalize, privatize all the property, collectiveness of all agriculture, suppression of the Catholic Church, and the imposition of the totalitarian control. At the same time, free education and free national health system were also introduced. The armed anti-Soviet partisan were liquidated. Everything liquidated, just the way they want to do to Biafra. By attacking ESN, a military magazine was captured, they sold everything, and Simon Ekpa came out from nowhere. By 1953, approximately 56,000 Lithuanians, dubbed enemies of the people, were deported into Serbia. I want you to understand, when the enemy and the invaders and the conquest want to attack you, they use everything within and without. After the death of Joseph Stalin in 1953, the Soviet Union adopted the Stalinization policy and ended mass persecution. Non-violent resistance continued both in Lithuania and among the Lithuanian diaspora. Among the Lithuanian diaspora, both in Lithuania, just like both in Biafra land today, and among the Biafran diaspora, which many of us are part of. This movement were secret. This movement were secret, just the way Biafra movement were secret. This movement were secret, illegal, and more focused on social issues, human rights, and cultural affairs, rather than political demand. Are you listening to me? Now, independent movement. As Mikhail attempted to retrieve the economy of the Soviet Union, he introduced the glasnost and the patriarchal restructuring, the same thing Nigeria is trying to do. All these things were aimed at making sure that they continue to force everybody into the union when they are not actually part of the union. Now,